I've been uploading videos recently expecting them to become old very quickly. I'll upload a video complaining about David Moyes with this sort of acceptance that I may be doing a video shortly after saying, forget what I said earlier, David Moyes has been sacked. That's been my hope on that one anyway. I've done a video earlier which I think probably needs updating quite quickly. So there's no surprise to me, not a problem at all. The subject matter, of course, is, I did the video earlier saying, why is nobody doing anything? Why did the board not seem to realise what a perilous position that we're in? That was what I was saying earlier on. It appears that they now do. They're now starting to leak that they are concerned that David Moyes is not on solid ground, so let's put it that way, and that they're now looking at candidates. Now, the candidates, as I understand them, are Rafa Benitez, Nuno Espírito Santo, Sean Dyche's name, can't say that with any sort of flair, can you? And Bielsa, former Leeds manager. These are the managerial candidates. Now, I don't want to overly get into what I think about those managers. Suffice to say, because I'll do it in a different video if it carries on. You know, to be fair, you could almost do 4 separate videos. I'm not going to, by the way. I find it uninspiring. I find that an uninspiring list of candidates. But without the video, will digress if I go too much into them individually. What concerns me more is how we've come about that list. Now, I don't want to be seen to be complaining about everything. So I guess it's progress that West Ham are now appreciating that we're in a bit of trouble. Okay, that's fine. That's good. However, in the leaked reports, there's a reluctance to do anything. It's still there. And I don't think they're crocodile tears, by the way. I don't think that it's just the West Ham hierarchy pretending that they'd like to keep David Moyes and that there's some regret at letting him go. I don't think that's the case. However, you've got to sort of forget about that now. But it's very much coming across as we are going to apologetically look at other options. Why? My first question is, why are we looking now? Why don't we know already who David Moyes' replacement is? This is such a panicked, hurriedly, late compiled list of candidates. It's extremely worrying, and Benitez being on there is a serious concern. At least the other three have some recent form, recent examples of being in work. The Rafa Benitez one just smacks of somebody that was on the list 5-10 years ago. And oh well, we didn't actually get him then. Let's have a look at it now. Anyway, I've already gone too far into the detail of that for now. It appears like we've awoken this morning and thought, oh, we're in the relegation zone. We better sort this out. Well, there's been no foresight. There's been no planning at all. It's a real concern. There's something that's really annoyed me about this, though. The fact that on everywhere they've leaked this, they've considered the new managerial appointments or the candidates, their candidates, by the way, high risk. Now, by saying that, you're inferring that by basically say if we get a new manager in, it comes with high risk. By saying that, you're inferring that the current situation is low risk. David Moyes is low risk. David Moyes is a safe pair of hands. That's what they're saying. Not in those words. Getting a new manager is high risk. Let's be very clear here. Keeping David Moyes is the risky strategy. There's nothing changing. He is not changing course at all. We are a ship heading for the cliffs, and he is not changing course. That's the risk. If he was switching things around, if he was looking to bring people in, if he was changing a lot about the team, then fine, but he's not. It's the same old, same old. Sit back, soak up the pressure, keep it tight, wait for 60 minutes, bring a substitute on, try and win the game. It fails because it's predictable and it's useless. So where's the new strategy? What have you been working on during the break, the month that the World Cup was on? Nothing. And that's why it's the risky strategy. The risky strategy is keeping David Moyes. Even though there's managers there that I'd rather not have at West Ham, they present less risk. I think Rafa, I can't believe I'm saying this, I think Rafa Benitez probably has a better chance of keeping West Ham up than David Moyes does. But he's not on my list. This is my list. Please don't do any quote mining and say Gonzo wants Rafa Benitez. That's not what I'm saying, okay? everyone on that list, almost all on that list, I think would do a better job than David Moyes. There's no risk in doing that. I think the list should be different, though. Let me make that clear. There's something even worse than that, though. And you must have seen it yourself when you heard all the reports being leaked. That unfortunately, we probably can't go in for Thomas Tuchel or Mauricio Pochettino. By the way, one of those is more favourable than the other one to me. That's Pochettino. I don't mind being secretive. I'd rather Pochettino than Tuchel on that, just so you know. There's no chance of getting them because they wouldn't come to a relegation team. A what? They wouldn't come to a team in the bottom three. Well, where has this madness come from? Because we've only just got into the bottom three. If you're aware that they will not sign for a club that are in the bottom three, why not approach them before? This is no surprise. This is no shock. We have been plotting this course and keeping this trajectory for quite some time. You can do one or two things. You can use your own senses. You can look at the team and you can see they're dejected. You can see they're unmotivated. You can see they're not running as much. You can see they lack belief. They lack charisma. They're not following. They might be following the instructions of the manager. They certainly don't believe in them. Those are the that's the evidence of your own eyes, but they're untangible things. If you want to use the tangible stuff like the form guides, and if you want to extrapolate how many points West Ham are predicted to get, but if you want to use those metrics rather than what you see with your own eyes, they're damning as well. It's quite clear if you look over the last few months that we were heading towards the relegation zone. With that in mind, if you knew that was going to happen, because basically they either knew or it was ignored, then why would you let it get to a point where you get down into the relegation zone? Damn, that's it. We can't appoint Pochettino now. He won't be interested in coming. It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. That's why. Because there was never any hope or belief that they would get them anyway. They could have tried, but they didn't do. Last week, never mind last week, yesterday, we weren't in the relegation zone. Start of it, granted. It is completely frustrating to hear such a thing. Yet here we are in this muddled position of suddenly realising, I say we, not you and me, suddenly realising in this situation that we're in trouble. Oh, hold on. We might need to make a managerial change here. Oh, go and get the list. Let's compile a few people. I say get the list. There is no list. Where's the sporting director? And I don't mean Mark Noble. Mark Noble's only just been appointed. If so, why wasn't there someone appointed before Mark Noble? If we don't have a list, why not? Where is the dossier? Where is a dossier compiled on the next manager? Why don't we know who we want in? Brighton did. Graham Potter left for Chelsea. Brighton knew before. They knew before. I mean, it might not be. I know Southampton won yesterday, and they got the bloke in from Luton, but they knew that was going to be their guy after Hassan Tuchel. It might not work out, but they had a strategy. They had a plan. Aston Villa could see it was going belly up with Steven Gerrard. They knew it. I wouldn't be surprised if once he's second in command, Keane left. The guy went to Glasgow Rangers. Glasgow Rangers manager now went to QPR and went to Glasgow Rangers. I wouldn't be surprised at the point he left and Gerrard's performances started to dip, that they knew that their target was going to be Unai Emery. And when they dispensed to Steven Gerrard, there was no waiting around. They just did it. They didn't have to wait. They didn't have to identify somebody. They didn't get to the point where, Gerrard's turned out a bit crap. Better go and start looking for managers. It's akin to your car engine making funny noises and you not dealing with it. And then eventually you get stranded on the motorway or something like that. And you think, something's happened with the car. Better get down that mechanic. Maybe I need to buy a new car. It's crazy what is going on here. We will, on different videos, we'll deal with the list of managerial candidates. I am aware that actually, I've been moaning that the board haven't realised that we're in peril. Now they have. I don't want to particularly straight away pick their managerial choices to bits. But this is why you have a performance director. This is why. All right, okay, Mark, whatever. Newman is head of player recruitment or whatever it is. This is exactly what happens when you don't have a proper structure at a football club. The whole thing's a mess. And this was always going to happen. The attention was always going to turn to the board. That much was clear as well. We said it, everybody said it. By leaving it and leaving it and leaving it, there comes a point where you actually stop blaming David Moyes, because he's just doing the predictable stuff that he's programmed to do. David Moyes is just being David Moyes. He doesn't know how to operate any other way. By the time you've accepted that, it actually comes down to the people above him making the decisions. So the attention turns to them. And I am sorry it's happened now at this time, just before, before David Gold's funeral. That is unfortunate, and it's not nice. But the timing is whilst the timing is unfortunate, the timing is also their fault as well, because this should have been dealt with ages ago. Ages ago, we had the perfect opportunity to deal with it. And now we're panicked, and now we're at the bottom. The people that are really good don't want to come. So we've compiled this hurried list that's completely unimaginative of people that used to be good. Let's be perfectly honest, that's what it is. If you asked them who the top 5 up-and-coming coaches were in European football, they wouldn't know. This is why you have a performance director or whatever. I can't even think of the name. Whatever. The corporate name for whatever we want. The football administrator who oversees, a director of football who literally directs the direction of the football at a club, be it managerial, recruitment, all that stuff. Anyway, I'll say I'm done. I'll be back again with another video, because this is a story that's not going to go away. Very, very disappointed with what I've seen today.